Hey, how y'all doing? This is Hunt 919 True Sports coming to you with another segment. This time I want to cover a little of the women's basketball. You all know, if you follow my channel, that I love watching women's basketball, especially the college level. And I want to talk about the big win that Colorado had over LSU at the Hall of Fame series in Las Vegas. I think it was a couple of days ago. I think it was last Monday, if I'm not mistaken. They had a second game, but that was a money game, so I really won't cover that. But we get right into it. We get into the type of offense that they ran. They run the Princeton offense, when you look at it, it's not the type of Princeton offense that I'm used to seeing. Normally, when you see a Princeton offense, it's very kind of slow and methodical, and a bunch of picks and etc. But because they have a mixture of spot up shooters and athletes or athletic women on the team, it looks more fast and athletic, which makes it look different than the normal Princeton offense that you normally see. Because a Princeton offense, like I said, is normally ran at a slower pace with less athletic players most of the time. And it's cool, but it was actually designed to help slower, less athletic players keep up with better and more athletic players. And it's been working for years. The Princeton offense, I used to hate to go up against a Princeton offense because it's going to be filled with a patient. It's a very patient offense. There's a lot of screens and a lot of picks. So it is what it is, but it forces you to defend for an extended amount of time, and especially when you run it to perfection. So we'll get into the main players of the game before I get into it by each quarter. Frida Foreman, very good player, very quick trigger on her shot. She shoots threes. She doesn't need much space to get her shot off. She doesn't look to only shoot. She's also a good passer, which makes her dangerous. But she had a great game. She finished with 27 points. She went 7 of 11 from the three. Then you got Aranetta, if hopefully I'm saying her name right. She's 6'3", the center inside. I love her game. She makes what makes her good is she has a great base and she has great coordination, which you don't always see between the men or women. Sometimes a lot of people sleep on having good coordination, but she has very good coordination for her size, and she has a good base. She has strong legs, and it's hard to move her off the block. Once she posts up, that's what she's going to be. You're not going to really push her around too much, and she has good enough height to get her shot off. She also sets really great screens, and not only does she set great screens, she also knows how to pick and roll to the basket. And when she rolls to the basket, she's not just rolling to the basket, she's actually rolling with control, and she's able to finish. So it was very good watching her play. I'm an inside person. I played a lot of inside when I was in high school. I didn't really get outside until I got to college. So watching her play was good, but she also runs the floor very well for her size, so she gets a lot of easy points. She'll get the rebound, hustle to the other end, and then she'll finish with a layup sometimes. She finished with 24 points. She actually outplayed Angel Reese. Angel Reese is one of the top players in the country from LSU, and she outplayed her. She did not rebound her, but overall she outplayed her. And she played so good that Shaq came into the locker room and gave her a personal congratulations. So it was good to see something like that happen. The next person was Jalen Sherrod. Jalen Sherrod was a person I first heard about on Reach the People Media. He actually covered one of their practices, and he interviewed her. And she has a very good story. I think she's a fifth-year senior, but her only Power 5 offer was from Colorado. So she's very good point guard, excellent point guard, actually. She's very fast, very athletic. She keeps pressure on you on both ends of the court. When she gets the ball, she is driving right to the bucket. Even she's either looking for a pass first or looking to finish the layup, which she did a bunch of times. She'll attack the basket. She can drive and she'll kick it out. And on top of that, she'll play hard defense. So she was the player of the game because of what she did on both sides of the floor and the pressure that she kept LSU under. Was surprised at LSU. I'm sure there wasn't wasn't expecting that from Colorado, even though I've been telling people Colorado was good since I saw them last year play at Duke against Duke. So I'm going to break it down quarter by quarter real quick. I won't hold you too long. The first quarter, the game got off to a fast start. It actually started off with Colorado getting the ball and running their offense out of the Princeton sets. So, and this is kind of where Frida start to establish herself with some threes, but really not too many. I think she had 1 or 2 in the first quarter. Sherrod, as I said, was pushing the ball, and she basically was getting everyone involved, including herself. And this was the only quarter that LSU won, 16-14. The second quarter, this is a quarter was still fast-paced by both teams because LSU was a fast team too. And then again, Sherrod kept attacking. She kept the pace fast. She kept attacking at the rim. She was forcing LSU to hustle back and play defense, so they couldn't really cruise like I'm sure they thought they were going to be able to. Sherrod actually had a couple of and ones, and she was finishing at the free throw line for the most part. Then on top of that, as I said before, she's playing hard defense. So she basically established tempo on both sides of the ball, on the offensive side and the defensive side. Foreman started shooting. She started getting the threes going a little bit. Not too much, but it was kind of a foreshadow into what was going to come later on with her, when she actually got real hot and kind of put the game away. So that'll come on later on, but she also hit 1 or 2 mid-range shots with which looked good and impressed me because I love the mid-range shots. If you don't know that about me, another thing that happened this quarter was watching Sherrod go after loose balls. I mean, she was just all over the floor. She gave 110% every time she was out there, kind of like Allen Iverson, if you want me to compare to somebody as far as effort is concerned. And then this quarter, they actually went on a 7-0 run before LSU scored again, and this is also a foreshadow to what will go on later on. So this basically started their run that basically end the game later on, but it was a 7-0 run before it got stopped. And this was and actually Sherrod had a great quarter. She scored 11 points, and the score by the end of the quarter was 38-32, which kind of had LSU, reeling a little bit. We'll get right into the third quarter. And now this is the quarter where Frida Foreman gets going. This is a quarter that will lead her towards 27 points, which led all scores. Then the big girl, Araneta, is also consistently scoring the whole time. But in this quarter, she scored a couple of times off the pick and roll. And as I said, very coordinated when she got the ball in traffic. She was able to finish in traffic with people that was a little bit taller than her or either the same size as her. This quarter also saw number 11, Miller. She had some solid moments on offense and defense. So with the addition of her, she made them a little bit more dangerous. And she started to make her imprint on the game as well. She comes off the bench. I liked her game too. Foreman got off hot with the threes. She started scoring off a bunch of the flash screens out of that Princeton offense I was telling you about. The Princeton offense has a lot of flash screens that they set. And I told you when you defend it, you get tired of getting screened. That's all you're running into, screens. So you either going above or under them. And of course with Foreman, you should have been going over them. But regardless if somebody was in her face or not, she doesn't need but a quick second to get her shot off. So at the end of the third quarter, Foreman had 21 points. Sherrod had 12 points. Araneta had 16 points. The score was 63-51, which of course, if you watch the game, the announcers was even a little shocked at the score. I wasn't too shocked because I know what type of team they have, but at the same time, I didn't see them up by 10 on LSU by the end of the third quarter. I can't lie about that. So we go right into the fourth quarter. This is a quarter where you start to see Colorado drop into a 2-3 zone, and this did cause some issues for LSU. It was almost like they weren't prepared for it. So and then LSU to counter that start pressing because of course they wanted to come back, but because of Sherrod, she's very athletic, very fast. She almost nullified that zone. That trap because she was either dribbling through it or Colorado. So they're so disciplined they was able to pass out of it and keep everything moving. So I can't even remember if LSU actually got any steals out of it, but it didn't work too well for them going up against Colorado. And then even when they went to even when they did the trap, Sherrod was able to dribble out of it. So Foreman stayed hot, Sherrod stayed hot, Araneta stayed hot. And Foreman actually Foreman is actually the one who closed out the game. She hit a barrage of threes in this quarter, which led LSU LSU, there will be no coming back. And so that quarter ended 92-78. To me, it didn't feel like an upset because of what I've known about Colorado. And if you're looking at any videos on my channel before this game, I was telling everybody you need to tune into Colorado because of how good they are. Their coach, J.R. Payne, has started a good program the last 2 years, and it's something that we need to pay attention to. I think it was good for LSU to take this loss early because, as they say, if you want to beat a highly ranked team that you think may be better than you, it's best you catch them early. But after hearing Miss J.R. Payne speak at her press conference, she was basically saying we expected to win, and they played like it. So I was proud of them. It was good to see that type of competition early in the season, and it was good to see those kids come together and play a team like LSU and leave the imprint early on the season. And they definitely look like a NCAA tournament team. It's not a team you can sleep on. They have a very good mix. Whoever recruited for them did well because you have some athletes, and then you have some girls who can shoot from the outside, and that's a great mix. And then on top of that, they're running that Princeton offense, and the Princeton offense, like I said, it's hard to guard. You get tired of guarding it, and it's very methodical. And they normally run plays into the end. So when you run the play to the end, you get to cover all options of that offense. A lot of high schoolers, that's one thing we always try to teach, use all options when we call a play. But a lot of high schoolers, after the second option, they try to break it down themselves. They call it, a screen and roll and try to attack the basket. So when you play Colorado, you have to play a full discipline game in order to beat them. So I want to say congratulations to Colorado and Coach J.R. Payne. I know they're 2-0 right now. I'm sure they'll move up in the rankings, and I hope to do some more coverage on them as I follow some of the games that I can actually watch. I went back and watched this one on YouTube, so I watched it twice so I can get a good feel of how they beat LSU. So I appreciate the time. This has been a segment covering the Colorado versus LSU game. There'll be more to come throughout the season. This has been Hunt 919 Truth Sports. Ride with me.